Hello everyone. Today the topic our group is going to talk about is business strategy of LaserDisc. My group members are Yuan Jingming, Yang Longlong, Niu Yan, Gu Xiaotao, Fan Meitian, and Lin Yingling. Okay, the first one will be talking about the introduction.
Hello everyone, my name is Lian Yingling. Let's see. There is a short briefing on the company background. In early 1958, developer Grady and James Roswell invented obtaination video recording technology, also known as LaserDisc technology, with use of transparent disc. The LaserDisc played as a reflective most of video disc was built by Philips, currently a technological company that brings innovative products to enhance the health and well-being of people. LaserDisc was then brought to the market in 1978, which is 2 years after the VHS, and was first market in the RT market as MCA disc version. LaserDisc place was perceived by Pointer in 1978 as an early potential video disc technology for movies and training. LaserDisc then became the option for commercial use. LaserDisc Foundation by a symmetrical track held one video frame and 30 minutes of video set is provided with 44,000 frames. The digital audio was included later after the first analog audio was recovered with LaserDisc and new LaserDisc flavors reinforced multiple language sound tricks. Now I will talk about the rise and fall of LaserDisc. LaserDisc was initially built in North America. The mutation of VHS over Betamax pushed the LaserDisc to the background and served in the next lecture. Pointer brought up the first type of LaserDisc products, which is the consumer LaserDisc player, also known as VP1000 into the United States market in 1980. Then followed by the Japanese market in 1981 and other markets as well accordingly. The global shift of the LaserDisc flavor has seen by Pointer Company, where the sales of LaserDisc flavor except 95 million units to this in market that saw global sales of top 68 million devices. That's all, thank you. And next is Yuan Jingming, please.
Hello everyone, I'm Yuan Jingming. Okay, I'll continue with the rise and fall of LaserDisc. Later on, the feature of audio-visual enjoyment was given out by LaserDisc player to the consumers around the globe. LaserDisc gained a reputation for offering a much better quality, better audio, and a laughably loftier navigation compared to the competitors for the 3 decades when LaserDisc was on the market. By referring to the figure beside, the increase in demand will shift the demand curve rightward from D0 to D1, where the new equilibrium is at E1, leading to an increase in price from P0 to P1, and an increase in quantity as well. From Q0 to Q1, this is the reason why for the price in LaserDisc was high, which is approximately $100 for each in Hong Kong in 1990s. In 1984, LaserDisc format was introduced by Sony as LaserDisc's function enabled Sony to store as much information as DVD-ROMs do at the time, which is around 2 decades ago. Jaws in 1978 was the first movies to release on LaserDisc. LaserDisc is only famous in niche markets such as video files, as it is far more costly than VHS and Betamax in the consumer market. LaserDisc is mostly adopted by Japan market as well as Southeast Asia, such as Philippines. LaserDisc was a famous format for renting in the region as the price of LaserDisc was high, which is approximately $100 for each in Hong Kong in 1990s. The Laser Active by Pioneer was one of the only game consoles that employed the LaserDisc format and was launched at $900 retail price in 1993, also known as the most expensive game consoles throughout the history. At the late 1999, LaserDisc format was still employed by almost 10% Japanese households and approximately 2% of American households. LaserDiscs was stopped manufacturing in terms of DVD format in 2001, as the LaserDisc players were no longer sold in the stores in America, whereas the players import from Japan came to an end as well. Okay, next person, please.
Okay, hello, my name is Niu Yan. Furthermore, DVD and Blu-ray formats that are broadly used were helped by the LaserDisc format and brought a high clarity into household for the initial time. LaserDisc players was continued to be produced by Pioneer until 2009, and then officially announced the end of LaserDisc players' products. DVDs were smaller, cheaper, despite the poor quality, as DVDs were easier and convenient to carry around than a LaserDisc. This has brought challenges for Pioneer to continue acquire the parts that are needed to be used in the LaserDisc player's manufacture process. Therefore, the manufacture of the LaserDisc products was first to be terminated by Pioneer after the final run of 3,000 LaserDisc players. According to Pioneer Corporation, Pioneer will remain the spare parts needed to restore this Pioneer LaserDisc players' normal functions for the repairing services during the minimum storage period. Okay, next. Yang Longlong.
Hello everyone, my name is Xiang Longlong. From the graph below, the demand for the LaserDisc product was by consumer that to drop win the competition. The market. Therefore, the price and the quantity of the products will be affected in economic, which can be explained by the supply and the demand curve, as shown in the figure 1. The decrease in demand of consumers shift the demand curve to the left, moving from D0 to D1, and the new equilibrium point is now at E1 from E0. This low consumer demand results in the decrease in price as well as the quantity of LaserDisc, which are from P0 to P1 and Q0 to the Q1. Well, from the graph at the right side, we can see that the supply of the LaserDisc will decrease as well as time passes with a low demand incurred, as shown in figure 3 below. This will shift the supply curve leftward from S0 to S1, thus moving the equilibrium from E1 to E2. As a result, the price will be adjusted back to the origin, which is P0, whereas the quantity will continue to be decreased from Q1 to Q2. My part is finished. Please, the next one.
Hello.
My name is Fan Meitian. Now I will explain the methods of reduction. The first type is the top-end for reduction LaserDisc. Second type is the fill reduction with short run pressing frequency, and the last type is the latent plastic one-shot disk. The method of producing laser involve with three steps, which are pre-mastering, disk mastering, and disk pressing. The hand for production laser disk is produced by Pioneer or emission. This method is used when customers require a huge number of high quality LaserDisc. This is known to be a cost-effective method. The fair production LaserDiscs are produced with two pre-mastering stages to build the master disk. First, these LaserDiscs that produced by this method can have achieve the superior quality, concern, and consistency. That's the Gu Xiaotao.
Hello everyone, I'm Gu Xiaotao. The cost of production of LaserDisc is high. The costs for the disc are effective for small quantities, as there is no high setup fee required, and only overflow fee. The low-end LaserDisc that is tolerated made is most the same to the CDR wettable CD-ROM disc. These LaserDiscs are made by using a unique type of pre-made recordable disc and a unit disc recorder instead of going through the pre-masking stage and disc pressing stage, and this method is faster. In the aspect of pricing strategy, since LaserDiscs are categorized differently, which are top-end for production disc and low-end, also known as entry-level. As stated by Zebo, 2014, the price was an important limitation to be considered. It was a cost around $300 for an entry-level LaserDisc player, which is a plastic and glass disc, whereas a top-end LaserDisc model, which is for production, could be up to $1,500, and there was a notable instinct in the quantity between the entry-level LaserDisc and the top-end model LaserDisc. The average cost for one LaserDisc release is cost around $34.99 to $39.99 for just the move itself with minute or no bonus functions, whereas the supplemented picked special editions such as the Creatory usually could bid up to $100. That's all for my presentation. Thank you.